All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I don't know if you can see, but I got like a sty right here in my eye, and I got it removed yesterday. It's on the inside. So, but you can't, I think you can see it. It's slightly like swollen. But, it just goes to show, unexpected costs. Like for me, I have insurance, so it's really not going to affect me much. But I know some people, things like this, I had to go to, it wasn't a surgery room, but it was kind of like a lot of operating room. They still had to use like all these gauze and needles and stuff like that. So, insurance will send you a bill for like $200-300. I mean, if you don't have good insurance and stuff like that, maybe after they cover a portion of it, maybe you got to pay like 200 of that or whatever the case may be. But it just shows you that unexpected cost will come out of nowhere. You need to be prepared, right? Luckily, I got insurance. I got an HSA card, so I'm really not worried about it. But yeah, if you see a little swollen, that's the reason why. But yeah, so the markets have pulled back. I woke up this morning. I looked at BTC. I looked at the altcoins. They pulled back, and I get a lot of it. In my opinion, is still probably that lingering deep seek news and stuff like that. I think that's kind of washing away, and also the fact that the Fed decide to keep rates steady. So the fact that the deep seek stuff shocked the AI kind of sector across crypto and stocks, and then the fact that the Fed said, okay, we're gonna keep rates steady, probably scared the market a little bit, and that's why we saw somewhat of a sell-off, right? So let's take a look at these prices. Let's take a look at how we ended up Friday. Again, the stock market is not open on the weekend, so we'll take a look at how it ended up Friday, and we'll take a look at crypto prices now, and then we'll take a look at some of these articles that I'm looking at. All right. So 102. Remember, we were at 105 yesterday, right? Just yesterday. So 105, we crashed all the way to 102. And again, I think a lot of it's because people believe that February is going to be very, very good for crypto. Remember, December, we kind of held steady, sold off a little bit. January was kind of the same thing. We got back over 100K, but our all-time high, I think when we in December was 107 or 108, somewhere around there. So that next leg up is going to be that 110 to 115 mark, maybe 120, and it just looks like we're range bounding. And I think a lot of the brokerages, market makers are, hitting the bid, hitting the ask, making people sell off because I think we're ready for the next leg up. Again, we're always going to get these slight dips. I mean, this one's really not that bad, 105 to 102. We can literally recover in a matter of hours, right? So it's not a big deal. But yeah, I think February is going to be very bullish for crypto. Even though today's the first and we're starting off with a sell-off, I still think those lingering factors, the DeepSeek news, the and the fact that the Fed kept rates steady, but I don't think it's going to hold us back for much longer, right? There's just so much bullish catalysts out right now, especially again, not to be political, but new administration, a lot of positive executive orders coming for crypto on all fronts, as far as the reserve, and other areas as well. Other countries are becoming a lot more bullish because we're putting these executive orders in place. So yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before we move on up. So yeah, BTC's at 102. And I would say by the first week of February, we should see some moves as far as that next leg up, right? So that 110, I think we see that 110 to 115 in the first week of February, if not the second week. And if we don't see, so here's what happens if we don't see that push up. Again, it could be that this cycle is a little bit different. I still think 2025 is going to be the biggest year. But if we don't get that a huge run up or the next leg up in February, it's probably going to be um, it's probably going to be sometime in that April timeframe, maybe even go into the summer, because typically we need some type of catalyst to spark a specific sector, and for me, that's going to be the AI sector. So a lot of people are saying it was the DeepSeek news that is actually very bullish for us. So, yeah, I think I think the DeepSeek news is gonna actually be the bullish catalyst for us to move up to that next leg up. But we'll see. Right now, it's hurting the market. It's hurting the prices, and it's having a negative effect on the market, right? So let's take a look at other coins. So Ethereum too, I think too, Ethereum's going to be the catalyst as well that brings us up. So when Ethereum breaks its all-time highs, I think that's going to be something too, right? Because we usually see that. We usually see that the Ethereum breaks its all-time high. And again, you always got to look at the trading view. So the all-time high for Ethereum is 4,800. And I always say look at the trading view, because here you can't really see. You would think the all-time high is 45. So that's a tip for you guys to just remember, use the trading view to see what the all-time high is. So it puts us around 4,800, right? So I think that's going to be a huge catalyst as well, where, once Ethereum breaks that, it's going to set the stage for other altcoins, right? And specifically the AI sector. All right. Now, Solana, I was mentioning this before, but Solana was, is basically taking the spotlight off of Ethereum. It's more closer to its all-time highs than Ethereum. Its all-time highs is 238. Let's go back to the trading view, right? Let me use this too. So it already broke its all-time highs, right? It's at 256, and it slightly broke its all-time highs here. It went to 260. I think it got up to 280. And there's a lot of talks about, the Solana ETF coming out. I think Grayscale just applied for the ETF. I think they just put in the Solana ETF application. So, yeah, I think once those start getting approved more for other altcoins, that's probably could be a catalyst too. So, okay, so let's look at it. I don't think we need to wait for another Fed decision for these markets to go parabolic. I think it's going to happen in February. And for me, it could be an ETF approval. It could be something in the AI sector where it says, okay, maybe from the DeepSeek news, maybe these these big tech companies, these big blue chip companies like Amazon, Meta, and so on and so forth, they're like, okay, we're going to invest more money into our algorithms, because that's essentially what DeepSeek was, right? It was, it wasn't the fact that they had good GPU chips, but they had better software, right, to utilize old GPU chips a lot better. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those catalysts. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but yeah. But yeah, we're pretty much selling off. And if we look at the stock market, it ended up selling off too as well you can't see it. It ended up selling off too as well. So the S&P ended up red. You can see here the Dow ended up red. The NASDAQ ended up red. Russell ended up red. Crude oil a little bit up. And then gold as well ended a little bit down too. So it wasn't just the crypto market, right? So let's take a look at some of these news. I always tell you guys to look at Yahoo Finance. It's free. I have a Wall Street Journal subscription, so I use that too. But use all the free sources. You go to the front page of Yahoo Finance, and it gives you a lot of good information. All right, so the latest, here are the stock market winners and losers from the DeepSeek. Let's take a look at this one. So IBM, Cloudflare, Meta, Accenture, Okta, I don't know these, Palantir, know that one, Zscaler, MongoDB, Snowflake. So 1 week return, are these the winners? Because it says 1 week return 13%. So where are the losers? Here are the stocks winners and losers. All right. So here's the chart. I mean, these look, it says 1 week returns. So it looks like these are up. What does it say? A stock. All right, let's see. AI stocks had a volatile week as Wall Street reckoned with the implications of sophisticated, cost-efficient AI model from Chinese startup DeepSeek. Semiconductor stocks such as Nvidia and Broadcom sold off. Yeah, so Nvidia did sell off. And Broadcom, they both sold off Monday as investors worried DeepSeek's efficiencies would temper enthusiasm for AI infrastructure and spending. High-flying networking and power stocks also tumbled. So those fell off. And then they gave a chart of AI stock performance from January 27th to the 31st. So I guess they called out Nvidia and Broadcom as being losers. I'm not sure. Let's see how Nvidia did. Okay, yeah. So Nvidia did sell off. So it's probably one of the losers. Because remember, Nvidia was at 128. Let me move this. Nvidia was at 128. So if we look at the 5-day chart, it did sell off pretty badly, right? 127 to 119. I don't really call it really bad. But again, I've always said that Nvidia was overextended, right? I think long term, great play. It's going to be here forever. It's not going anywhere. But I mean, if you look at the chart, it went from 14 to 120. So it's overextended, right? So again, usually when things are overextended, that's when you start to see negative news, right? When I said it was overextended, literally a week or two ago, then that's when the DeepSeek news came out. That's when the Fed decided to keep rates steady, right? So every time you see kind of like one of these huge big tech companies overextended, you tend to see negative news follow. It just always happens that way. And I think I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's planned. I think people on Wall Street, like they have a lot more information, have a lot more power. And I think it's somewhat manipulated, right? All right. What else? Let's see. Go back. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what this chart is. I mean, it looks like this 1 week return is they're up. They don't show anything that's negative. Let's see, DeepSeek. Okay. What else? Let's look at some other these latest news. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has $1 billion net worth. Here's how he got there. Yeah, he's the OpenAI person, so not surprising that his net worth is up there. All right. Let's see. Key stock mark. What to expect from Friday's job report. So maybe this was something to like this jobs report. So the U.S. employment likely added 150,000 jobs in January, continuing a streak of job creation going back to January 2021. And this could be also a reason why the Fed decided to keep rates steady, right? The job numbers probably came in a little bit better. It says, although hiring has slowed down since the post-pandemic boom of 2022, the job market has stayed resilient and employers have avoided layoffs. So yeah, that's probably, again, the Fed probably took this all into consideration. Because remember, the new administration wanted to cut rates, want to keep cutting rates, but it seems like Fed Jerome Powell, makes his own decisions, right? He's not listening to the administration, or the administration doesn't have that much of an effect on what he like his decisions essentially. U.S. employers likely still hiring down in January, but still added jobs at a healthy rate overall, if forecasters are correct. A Bureau of Labor Statistics report on employment Friday is likely to show economy added 150,000 jobs in January, down from the surprising high of 256,000. So yeah, I mean, it looks like people are hiring, and I can attest to that. You know, where I currently work, people are hiring. People need people to work. And I feel like, especially like in corporate positions, banks and stuff like that, you see like there's always spots opening up, and it could be because it's high turnover. You know, some people just don't want to work. That's why I tell like everybody, like if you want a job, there's a job there. And you'd be surprised, a lot of these positions that usually require a bachelor's degree will sometimes they'll hire people just you would experience. Maybe you have like some job experience to, you know, do the position. So, you know, take a look around. Like if you're looking for a new job, take a look around and see who's hiring. Go on Indeeds. You know, take the weekend out, go to a coffee shop, and try to apply. That's what I did when I moved from my old position. You know, I couldn't really apply during the week. I mean, I could have, but it was just easier to do it on the weekend because it was, you know, a lot more time. I was able probably like on the weekend, I was able to put a 5 to 6 applications, and that's what it takes too. Like you can't put even one application a week. People be like, that's 4 in a month. That's just not enough, right? It's not enough. Like I was putting 5 a week and 5 to 6 a week, and you weren't getting like I was probably getting like 1 to 2 interviews every 2 months or something like that. So yeah, but there's jobs out there if you want them, or if you want a second job, right? If somebody wants a second job, it's out there for you. I know a lot of you are like, oh, how do I get money to invest? Like right now, the market's down, right? How do I get money to invest? Well, you get a second job, because a lot of you are not able to save from your first job, and you just don't have any money to invest. And that's typically the problem. And that's what I figured out too, like a few years ago. It's not really like, are there opportunities to invest? Is do you have the money to put in when the market is down, right? Like for me, when we look at crypto prices, these are really good prices. Like especially when you look at the future and you're like, okay, well, BTC most likely is going to hit a million, like everybody's talking about. You know, it's 10x from here. Everybody's talking Ethereum will be at 20,000 at some point. Will it be this cycle? Probably not. Will it be in the next 5 to 10 years? Probably. That's or 50,000. Sorry, it says they're going to be at 50,000. That's like a 14x from here. Solana, a lot of hopes for Solana since it's taking over, but not even just in the crypto space, right? We talked about Nvidia. Most people are saying Nvidia is going to be a $10 trillion company. Currently, right now, it's 2.9. So that's a solid 5x. So there's opportunities. It's more of, do you have the money, and do you have a significant amount of money? You know, because there's a lot of people that are, okay, $200-300. $200-300 is cool to start off investing, but you need to be investing like $5,000 to $10,000 at a time, and not to put people off or discourage people from investing, but you need to have a decent amount of capital, right? To start investing, to make a difference, right? $5,000, $10,000, right? If you can put like throughout the year, 2 times a year, you saved up to 5,000, you could put $10,000 away each year. That's going to make a difference, you know? But yeah, so the jobs report, it looks good. So again, this could probably be why the market has sold off. And it's it, it, rightfully so, right? Rightfully so. Jobs are good. The Fed is not going to cut. It's not going to cut rates if the job market's looking good and the economy is looking stable. The whole reason for cutting interest rates is because you know, he wants to get to that I think he said like 2% inflation or something like that. So yeah. So, but I think the next time they meet up, he'll probably going to cut rates. But yeah, so the market is looking it's looking okay, right? Like it's obviously it's not up. Most people are expecting it to be pump up, like pump up in February, and I think so. I think we're gonna get that parabolic move in February. You just got to be patient. My last live stream, I said, market will reward the people that are patient. So it's more of just dollar cost averaging into your positions, not selling off when things dip, and just holding on and believing into the positions you already have, right? But that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.